Well, it turns out I didn't review every bowling game released on the PlayStation 2.
I looked up to you.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys, but hey, Moby Games helped me out with this, and I'll eventually cover everything for real this time. In my defense, though, these, along with the others I missed out on, were European and Japan exclusive. I only found bowling games that were released in the US. Anyways, this is Bowling Xciting, and it's a Simple Series 2000 title too.
Oh my god, no!
But don't worry, unlike most of what I've already reviewed, this game isn't that bad.
Say what?
In fact, it's a rather decent, with some fun to be had bowling game. So let's jump to Bowling Xciting and talk about why it's worth playing. Bowling Xciting is a bowling game under the Simple Series 2000 line of games. It was developed by Tamsoft and published by D3 Publisher in 2003. In Bowling Xciting, you can play 4 kinds of games of bowling, all while selecting from a list of 6 characters to play as. And that's it.
The end.
Exciting, isn't it? Because you know the title, it says Bowling Xciting. Yeah, exciting. Right? As for how this game controls, it's actually pretty good. The worst part are the mechanics themselves that have some faults. Control-wise, it's pretty standard and good. Using the D-pad to move and select our power level, shoulder buttons to aim, and X to confirm our throwing accuracy. It just works, and that's all you can hope for in a game. That it controls and plays well, and Bowling Xciting does just that. There's 6 characters to select from, each with their own ideal ball weight and animations. There's Lynn, Kathy, Katie, Mark, Rob, and Dave. I never noticed anything really different when playing them. They just come with their own animations before and after each throw.
Dumb bitch.
However, the best one is easily Katie, who has a whole goddamn bakery. Like, goddamn!
Extra thick!
So let's set up a game and play Standard, which is a free bowl mode. We can pick from one of 6 characters and decide if we want to bowl against other players or CPUs. Once we decide everyone, we get to pick our bowling ball weight and if we want guardrails or not. Then enter our 3-letter name, and as is tradition with all bowling experiences, we must enter the proper word of
Ass!
So let's begin bowling. How do you do it? Use the left and right on the D-pad to select your position. Up and down will determine your power. R1 and L1 is to rotate your aim, and X is your confirmation, which brings up your curve bar. So when it goes left and right for a short period of time, you will have to hurry up and press the button at the right time to give your ball a proper curve and not hopefully go for the gutter. But if you don't hit the button as fast as you should, as your character approaches the lane, it will auto throw for you, and that could actually cost you your entire frame. This is the entire concept of bowling. There's nothing else to the mechanics other than learning how to get good at it and win. However, the controls and mechanics are good and work. I didn't have any trouble with this one, unlike the horrors of 10-pin on PS1.
I know you told your friend you're not okay.
In standard mode, you just bowl 10 frames and whoever has the highest score wins. I was having fun surprisingly though. I do wish we could skip character animations before and after they throw. This added up the total match time to 32 minutes. That dragged the game for me and is a con. There's no real charm to the characters. There's no voices or text. There's no power-ups or audience watching. There's no personality going through the characters and everything. You know, it's just a basic bowling game with a small budget that also happens to have early 2000s 3D models with dead-eye stare. Seriously, anyone else getting reminded of illusion games from back in the day? These models are giving me Artificial Girl 3 vibes. In the end, I won. Fuck yeah. Blonde Tits got her ass on the high score list. There's another version of standard mode. This is pair, where you and another player or CPU team up against two other players and or CPUs. Once you decide who's going to play, you can play another 10 frames of bowling. However, with a twist. You both share the 10 frames. The standard 2 turns per frame is now split between you and your partners.
What a twist!
As such, if you screw up, your partner can save you, if they're good. However, I was unlucky and my partner was Lynn, who chose guardrails and wasn't exactly good for some reason this time around. I wish I could have selected her ball and guard instead of only mine.
Fuck you!
This mode is fun and doesn't take as long as standard 4-player single match. Overall, this mode is good and my go-to for this game so far, but there's 2 other modes we still need to check up on.
And let's not forget, I do keep that big iron on me.
Quest mode is challenge mode of this game. You just need to get all the pins with 5 tries per frame. That's all this mode is. You just test yourself by nailing all the pins. Nothing more, nothing less. But at least, unlike other challenge modes in other bowling games, this one at least gives you several chances. And that's it. Moving on.
What? What?
Excite mode interested me at first simply because of the change of environment. We're now in space trying to nail pins with a curved alley. Of course, I didn't get far in this mode as the curved alley throws me off. But hey, if you want another challenge mode, but in space, Excite mode is a thing. moving on.
You suck!
The music is just okay, but you'll notice how much it just loops the same tune. There's not a single track that stands out, it's just generic upbeat stuff, so here you go, bon appetit. Out of the 15 Simple Series 2000 games I've covered now, only 3 are really decent. Bowling Xciting, Monster Attack, and Fisherman's Bass Club. 3 out of 15 ain't that bad, but still, I'll keep looking to find the best of these 64 games, some of which are Japan exclusive. Now those will be interesting.
Oh god, here we go again!
At the end of the day, Bowling Xciting is worth playing. It's a borderline average game with some hiccups, but for a simple series title, it's hard to say it's pure trash akin to other simple series games I've reviewed. Had the mechanics been slightly better, had there been more content, and had the character animations been skippable, I could see this game as something better.
Boingy, 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 boingy.
For what it is, Bowling Xciting is a fun little budget bowling game. Out of every PS2 bowling game I've covered, it's probably the second best for the most part. AMF Extreme Bowling is still the best choice. The raunchy theme really added to its charm after all. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later. Bowling Xciting was a fun little Simple Series 2000 bowling game, but there turns out to be even more games for the PlayStation 2, a total of 4, each themed after a different sport. This one is billiards, or pool, if you will, and yes, it's about as exciting as you could expect.
Stop being boring!
The game is just billiards, one-on-one billiards. You don't get to see your characters and there's no one around watching you play. It's just an empty void straight out of the back rooms where you just play billiards forever with a few different game modes to play in and some nice music to boot. For a simple series title, this game controls really well, which shocked me because most of them were terrible in terms of controls. Yet also because it's billiards. How could you make it terrible in the first place? Well, you can make it play like a Nintendo Wii game, for one, as there's a lot of bad billiards games for that system. But whatever, Billiards Xciting just works. Using only a few button inputs, and relying on your right analog stick to line up and shoot. As for the modes, there's 3 options outside of training, and I don't really care enough about billiards to practice, so we'll just play each mode to see what they have to offer.
It can't get worse, right?
Versus mode allows you to pick your opponent, who's playing, the location, and which game type of billiards you'll be playing. I'll stick to the standard as it's easier to grasp for someone who's about as enthused for the sport as going to the DMV to renew his license.
Ooh, that's bad.
In versus mode, you just play your standard game of billiards. In this one, your goal is to pocket 8 balls first to win. Simple enough, and it's just fine. The controls are really what helps it out, as you align your pull cue with the analog stick, left analog stick, and then align where you want to hit it with your right analog stick, then finally pull back and push forward the right analog stick to hit the white ball. Things just work, and the physics are good too. Nothing like total bullshit in terms of how the balls react to your shot, unlike certain 2D games or even earlier 3D games on the 5th generation consoles. Honestly, if I was actually a fan of this sport / bar game, or had it offered more soul and engagement to earn its exciting name, I'd probably keep playing it. Trick mode is a little more interesting, as you have to have skill to play this mode. Everything's set up with different kinds of challenges where you need to hit all the balls with one shot into any hole possible. If you fail, restart. It's not bad, but I'm not a billiards guy, so I never could score any shots here. There's a lot of options in terms of different trick challenges. I'll give it credit for offering a challenge mode. So if you want something a bit more, here you go. Story mode is needed to unlock new characters to play against and new areas to play in. It also has a tacked on amnesia story. Yeah, that was a huge video game trope in the 2000s, was amnesia and turret sections. I don't miss those. You wake up without any knowledge on who you are and what's going on. You then randomly choose to accept to play billiards with Joe and just play. Yeah, apparently, even though you have amnesia, you're willing to just go ahead and play a game of billiards with some random guy.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Yeah, okay. Using currency to bet and win rounds / shots to get more and more for something, but I never did win to find out. Honestly, it's just a tacky addition that feels pointless.
Why?
The game is just boring. I cannot find any enjoyment in billiards. I'm sorry, I wanted to like this game. I was expecting something good after Bowling Xciting, thinking it was the same developer / series with the same naming in its title. But it's just a soulless, boring game of billiards that controls well enough, and that's it.
No! Well, yeah!
Having to complete every round of story mode just to unlock a new character / area isn't worth it. I just don't see the appeal of it, especially since you don't see your character in game, just the portrait, and that's for the CPU. They also don't really react or talk during the game to make them worth unlocking or deciding who to play against. It's just so... it's just ass.
That makes sense!
And with that, we only have 2 more exciting games to go for the PlayStation 2 to cover. 2 out of 4, and the last 2 are not exactly my cup of tea either, as I'm not a fan of basketball or volleyball. Unless there's anime titties involved.
You're just like me.
So I'll get to the last 2 exciting games whenever I can. Let's end this review already.
Let's go already!
At the end of the day, Billiards Xciting is just borderline average game of pool. It's nothing special nor terrible, but unless you really get off to billiards, it's just not a worthwhile of a game. For a simple series title, it works, it's fine. There's a decent amount of content, but there's just no soul to it. You don't even see your characters. I mean, at least have them in there reacting to winning and losing shots in the games as a whole. You needed more engagement to make this game actually exciting.
All I hear is nag, nag, nag.
So go ahead and play the game if you want. Billiards Xciting is an unoffensive sports game that could have been way worse. All I was expecting was a boring game of pool, and while I did kind of get that, it controlled well enough with relaxing music. I'm just not a billiards kind of guy. Give me darts instead, if we're playing something at a bar or tavern for the Euros out there.
Wanker!
You're a wanker!
Wanker!
Right.
Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later. I was pleasantly surprised by this game. After so much mediocrity and garbage games from the Simple Series line of games for both PlayStation and PlayStation 2, I found something that's actually quite good. Despite a few hiccups, this is easily one of the best Simple Series games I've played to date.
I'm scared, people! Truly scared!
No, really, it's got great music, good controls and mechanics, and it's simple arcade fun. It's just lacking a bit in the content department, but otherwise, man oh man, is this Simple Series fun. God, let's just get into this review already.
Does that arouse anyone down there?
Basketball Xciting is a Simple Series 2000 game released in the year 2003, developed by Tamsoft. Yes, the same ones behind Oni-Chanbara, and published by EdgeTech in Europe. Yep, this is another European exclusive game, which is too bad because outside of some nitpicks, this game is really a good game.
Oh, I doubt that.
The style of b-ball is 3-on-3, where you only use one hoop, taking turns playing defense and offense. With 2 game modes, several teams, and 3 stages to play in, it's lacking, but for a budget game, Basketball Xciting is a game I want to keep around in my collection.
Don't you judge me. Half of you are high right now.
The controls are simple: square to jump, circle to build gauge and throw, X and triangle to pass to your 2 teammates, and the left analog stick or D-pad to move around. You can issue commands as well once your teammates have the ball, with X and triangle for pass the ball and circle for shoot the damn ball. Everything just works, and it's easy enough to grasp once you figure out the controls out. Since there's no manual online for this game, and the game itself won't tell you how the game plays, but in a way, I like having to figure things out type of stuff. It makes the game more enjoyable discovering everything on your own.
What a noob.
There's 2 modes you can play, Quick Play and Arcade. So we'll start off with Quick Play, where we can select our team and stage to play in, but we cannot pick our opponent's team. When it comes to team selection, we have Team A, Team B, Team C, Team D, Team E, Team F, Team G, and Team H. Honestly, I don't like the looks of any of these stereotypical 2000s characters, but I settled with Team G.
That's all I got, G.
Once we get into the game, my first time playing was rough. I was losing left and right till I figured out the controls. Since there's no explanation of the game's mechanics, I just struggled to grasp what each button did. My teammates were doing everything at first for me, so my first quick play match was a dud. But once I figured everything out, this game became so easy, I was kind of bored by the end of it. I mean, there's no difficulty options at all. So once you nail everything down, you won't be struggling at all. So gameplay wise, you start off with the ball jump. After that, you just run around trying to get the ball and score some points. Passing the ball, issuing commands to your teammates, and just wrecking your opponents. This game plays very well once you understand everything. I was nailing dunks even when you time things right with the circle button and get near the hoop and time the bar just right in the middle and bam! Though your teammates leave a bit to be desired, as they rely on you for everything really. I mean, I was the one scoring most shots once I figured out how the game plays. With one teammate, the glasses guy, in second, and the other guy being entirely worthless, the AI doesn't really fight you either. As long as you keep your distance, you won't be struggling to score, let alone lose the ball. It's funny how at first, my teammates were doing everything, and we were losing, but once I figured everything out, they're useless. The enemy team is pretty much completely non-threatening, and I'm wrecking everyone. Whoever scores plays defense, while the other team gets a turn with the ball. So you're always switching things up depending on how you play. Too bad we can't switch control to our other members, but it's whatever. They do decent enough on their own that I wasn't complaining about them too much. In arcade mode, however, you're playing against every single team in all three stages back to back till you defeat all the other teams. That's it. And it does suck there's no unlockable stuff. I mean, I got to the 5th team before quitting just because it was just the same thing over and over and over again. I guess it's neat to have this gauntlet-like mode, but otherwise, just stick to quick play. Still, it was fun, since it's just more of the same. Just going around competing against other teams, trying to win each match. It's a fine mode. Just wish there was hidden stuff here. Maybe there is, and I just didn't play long enough to find out. But honestly, after almost an hour of arcade mode alone and seeing the same teams and stages over and over again, I'll just doubt there's anything more to it than just a gauntlet run against every other team. So yeah, that's about it. The game is good, but man, the lack of content really hurts it. There's no unlockables, no team customization, nothing. You just play quick play, where you can decide your team in the stage, or play arcade, where you can pick your team, and then just play against every other team. That's it.
Guys, stop. You're giving me too many options. I'm only one man here.
One thing you probably noticed about this game is the Deadeye NPC characters. You know, I mean, the character models, yeah, they're a little cursed looking. they never blink or express themselves through facial animations, so you gotta get used to it. At least some characters have shades to hide their dead eye stare better, but something else worth pointing out is all the English. This is classic early 2000s at its finest. Even though Japan still has its English problems, but back then, it was just something else. Especially in video games, you had to have played the 4th through 6th gen consoles to really know what I mean.
Old.
So yeah, the grammar is all messed up. Your team win? Really?
You are made of stupid.
Then, there's background textures on billboards and stuff that have messed up wording, like the coffee billboard in Stage 2.
Excuse me, what?
Hi, Ma! The last thing you can mess with outside of gameplay is alter your settings in the options menu, like controller vibration, sound style, display messages, and set the timer for each match. You could go from the default 4 minutes to 6, 8, 10, and infinite. But with infinite, you need to set the score reached to win the match, such as the default 11, 21, or the maximum of 31. Outside of this, we can also change up the camera during gameplay, but man, I do not like any of these options. It throws me off way too easily. The default camera is C. Every other one is just terrible. It makes me feel sick and hinders my perception of the court.
I'm starting to feel funny.
Well, I feel fine. I guess I'm gonna be.
Oh man, the music, however, is a highlight. Good God, why does this game have such nice tunes? That shouldn't be possible. This is a simple series game after all. Like, damn, it's so early 2000s and a time capsule of the style at the time. I kinda miss it.
Every night I drive my Skyline. I like it cause it's got a design. Looks good under the moonshine. I'm always looking for the gold mine. It's my kind and you gotta be fine. Just get up so you get the whole nine. Zap is on the bottom line. Get on the dance floor. Yes, honey, coming knocking at your door.
At the end of the day, Basketball Xciting is an average game well worth playing. Had they made it a more content-rich game, they could have really had something here. It's too bad it's a simple Series 2000 title. Basketball Xciting had the potential for more, but that's not a bad thing when the game itself is good and worth playing.
You've said that 3 times already.
I'm eager to see what Volleyball Xciting is like now. Maybe it'll change my mind on volleyball too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you're right. It'll probably suck and be the worst of all 4 games of the Xciting series. Oh well, we'll see when the time comes.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Anyways, that's it for this video. See y'all later. The very last of all Xciting games on PlayStation 2 is about volleyball. Welcome to the very last of the exciting quadrilogy of games. This is Volleyball Xciting, developed by Success Corp and published by H-Tech in the year 2003. It's also not a part of the Simple Series 2000 line of games, despite sharing the same name and being part of the same series that has many of its titles in the Simple series.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
So, what is exciting volleyball? Like, anyways? Well, I know you're just as excited as I am.
Is that sarcasm, Junior?
It's a cel-shaded, all-female cast of sports players playing in an arcade-style game of v-ball, featuring several modes and teams to offer plenty of content. But it all falls apart with the controls and overall mechanics.
I'm out.
Using the D-pad or left analog stick, you can move around, and the face buttons are to serve, dive, and hit the ball. Yep, the face buttons are all the same exact thing. There's no difference between X, square, triangle, and circle. You will be randomly forced to switch control based on what the game deems necessary. This in turn will throw you off as you struggle to get to the ball before it's too late. This is all there is control-wise besides start to pause and quit the game. World mode is your tournament mode where you play as whatever team you so chose. Then you go on a spree against different teams, every single team competing against every single one of them, just so you can probably unlock a new team, as there's 4 question marks in the team selection. So much like dodgeball in that regard, but just like dodgeball, I have no interest, and the mechanics are dog shit. What don't help is your teammates just diving everywhere as your selected character is swapped non-stop without your consent, throwing you off non-stop as you try to get to the ball, but you cannot as you're being swapped to a character in the back. I just gave up after a while to try the other modes instead.
Here it comes.
In exhibition mode, we can pick our team, our opponent's team, the playing field, and set the rules. So it's a free-form mode and allows us to customize the overall experience to an extent.
Well, no!
Yet the gameplay is still terrible, and even after playing a few matches, just trying to grasp how this game plays, I cannot get anything to work right. Now, if only the game had a tutorial or manual, or even button input display in the options menu.
Oh, if only it were that easy, Marge.
Where we can see what does what, let alone rebind stuff like you can on PC. Oh, and maybe, even if you can get the controls to work right, your teammates will still flop all over the place to never hit the fucking goddamn ball.
It sucking fucks, it fucking sucks, it fucking blows, it's a piece of shit, and I don't like it.
Beach mode allows you to play on the beach, duking it out during the day or a sunset. Ooh, variety. in a 2-on-2 game of V-ball. Yet, because of the way the game plays, it's another terrible mode. But hey, at least it's on the beach this time, like V-ball should be, so I'll give it credit for getting there halfway.
Good for you! Thanks!
The last mode available is Challenge Mode, where you can play as one of 3 girls who each excel at certain things. Then, you select a challenge to play. For example, you can serve the ball over the net and try to get to the star or close as possible to earn the most amount of points. Yep, it's boring, and I ended up quitting after a few minutes. This game's mechanics and controls ruin everything. Out of every single exciting game for the PlayStation 2, Volleyball is single-handedly the worst one. I cannot comprehend how this game got sold for money back in the day. It's truly just dog shit. When I do a compilation, I'll rank everything. But for now, dear God, just don't touch this one. Unless you hate yourself. The music is generic as can be. Like, seriously, how to make your shitty volleyball game any more terrible? Just make the music just as bad, if not worse, than the game itself. But don't worry, I won't bother playing it. I mean, it's already part of this review. Why do you think your ears are bleeding? It's cause 1, you're probably using Raycon earbuds, and 2, you're listening to the music right now. At the end of the day, Volleyball Xciting is garbage and not worth playing. From its broken mechanics and controls to the fact that the game works against you to ensure you can never hit the ball, or the fact the game looks fugly like a Wii Sports game before Wii Sports was ever a thing type of thing, it's just a terrible game through and through and not worth your time, as it wasn't mine.
You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. There it is.
Just go play Dead or Alive Extreme instead and thank me later.
Yeah, boy.
Anyways, that's it for this video. See y'all later. Hopefully.